everyone, Binky here. So I am going to be using a palette today. I know it's been kind of a palette overload. As you can tell, I really love eyeshadow, but I really love lipstick too. And I hope to have more lipstick swatches here soon. So yes, that is a goal of mine, even it out a little bit. But yes, so this is an eyeshadow palette because I was kind of excited about this one. So this is why I kind of jumped to this. I have not used it yet, so this will be a first impression, and I'm going to try to create a look based off of this. But this is by BH Cosmetics, and it made quite the buzz, and that is the Zodiac Palette. Yes, a lot of people were going off about this, and we're pretty darn excited about it. I was as well. First off, I just want to say the packaging is just amazing, really nice, and I love BH Cosmetics. It's, you know, it's a discounted brand, very affordable for most people. They always have sales going on, so you can always pick up a really great deal. And what I love is they have a nice amount of neutrals, and then they have really bright colors with different finishes, which I think is just great. And again, like I said, it's very affordable, so if you can't afford the higher end, or you just think it's not for you, or just not something you want to spend money on, you got this. And this is the newest one, so yes. And I kind of like this because I'm looking at it. It changes. Yeah, very nice. So it is the Zodiac Palette. Now I find this to be a fun palette. I know some people, it's funny because astrology is very polarizing. Some people are for it, some people are like, I don't believe it. Now I gotta be honest with you, the little fun fact about Binky, my mom is actually an astrologer, and we have astrologers in my family all the way back to Prague in the Czech Republic, back when it was Czechoslovakia. Actually, it may not have even been Czechoslovakia back then, but back like in the 1800s. We could trace people back to being into astrology and things like that. So we go far back. So whether I agree or not, hey, I was raised off of it. So I do want to say that basically people go, I read my stuff and it's not right. Well, if you're looking off the sun sign, you can't just go off the sun sign alone. You have to go off of different things. So may I suggest rising, moon, and sun sign, and look at that. And that's even a very just a surface scratch. So yeah, you have to look at many different aspects, how many earth signs, water, fire, air are in your chart, and you can get a better idea. You can't just go off the sun sign. You can't. But I know, and some people are like, it's still crap, and that's okay. But yeah, this is something that I know quite a lot about. So when I hear people, I don't believe it. But then when I break it down for them in a more, in a less generalized way, people are like, wow. So just something to think about. Or you could just say, hey, still crap, don't care, Binky. That's awesome too, because it's not going to stop you from using this palette. No, because here you go. It even has the film still. Told you, haven't used it yet. So here are the different colors for the Zodiac. So here you have the baked shadows. I'm going to be honest, baked shadows, I don't know how I feel about them. I don't use them too often, so I don't want to really go into it. I have a couple BH products with the baked, and I really haven't used it much, so I'm going to venture out more this year. But here they all are, and then you have the matte colors here in the center, and then here is the highlighter. So it's a really great palette, and I think it originally came out for $19.99. There were sales, and then it's going up to $24, but it's still really affordable. That's a lot of eyeshadow, so I'm curious to see how it performs. What I will say, I don't want to give a full review, is that these colors do not match the signs at all. So as somebody who, knows a little bit, just a tad bit, about astrology, I looked at these and I was like, you gotta be kidding me. Like Aries, the baby of the Zodiac, the strong sign, the impulsive sign, is blue. Aries is red and gold, it's very bold. And so yeah, when I saw that I was kind of like, what? All right, no, I don't think so. And Aquarius, even though it's an air sign, gold, it's like a goldish green. I don't know, so this was kind of difficult for me. Gemini is this calm, beautiful color. If anyone knows Gemini or somebody has a lot of Gemini in their chart, let me tell you something. They're not this calm. I love me some Geminis, but damn, that, that's not Gemini. They're a little bit more quirky, unique. So, this is a little bit hard to swallow as far as the placement. They should have contacted somebody who's an astrologer to kind of set this together. Leo being this pretty little pink color, that's not Leo. Leo's the lion. Think about that. It'd be like orange, golds. But, but that's very nitpicky. But this would drive any astrologer up the wall. It really would. So, but that doesn't matter. What we're going to do today, because, this is a new palette for me, I'm just going to experiment. And this could go really well or it could go really poorly. So I'm going to create a look based off the first sign of the zodiac. And that, my friends, is Aries. I love Aries, and I think Aries gets a bad rap. And I'm just going to say, part of it is because I have a love for Aries, just because I have a deep association with them. And so, yes, Aries, this is for you, and it may come out looking like crap, but you're not going to care because you're all about taking risks. So I'm going to take a risk, because that's what I do as well. So what I'm going to do, because what I noticed with this palette is there are not a lot of colors, they're all shimmery except for these mattes here, but I like to finish my eye off, so you can take any kind of light color. I'm using the honey palette. I'm trying to get through this thing, and so what I've been doing is using this white and just using it on my eyes a lot, just to prep it, because I like that. I just like to have a nice clean slate to work off of, and I feel like this just fits the bill really nicely. I'm not a huge fan, I'm going to be honest, I'm not a huge fan of that palette, but I'm trying to get through things a little bit faster, and I think this is perfect for prepping the eyes, so I will use those light colors for that so it does not get wasted. Yes, on to the actual palette. All right, so when I think of Aries, I don't think of anything really docile. What I am finding is there's not a lot of light shades to start in with to put a pop, so I'm just going to start here with Virgo here. Now I'm not going to stick with the color that they have for Aries, just because that's not, I'm doing what I feel Aries is. So, this is my inspired look for Aries, and so we will borrow from our little neighbors here, even though Virgo and Aries do not necessarily mix that well. They are in this eye look. So that's just how it's going to be. Yes, astrologically, they are as different can be. Little fun facts. So what we'll do is do some fun facts during this filming. But it's going in quite well. And actually, this is a really nice crease color. But looking at it, because this is a first impression, there are not a lot of there's not a lot of light colors to go in with your crease at first. So again, I think it's very beneficial just to keep an extra palette around. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is, what I'm finding looking at this is there's no red, so I'm just gonna go in with a darker color with Scorpio here. This could be a total disaster. So go in with a light hand, because that's actually what I'm doing, because I'm not sure what's gonna work and what's not. Yeah, and I didn't do it there, and wow, we are off and running. So, these are really pigmented. They are a little bit powdery, and there is some fallout that I'm finding. So I went in with too heavy of a hand, and I already kind of screwed up this side right here, which is unfortunate. So I do want to go with the bolder look to give Aries what, the kick that it deserves. Now this is Pisces, and I think this is going to be like a purpley color. No, it's actually like a purpley red color. This may end up being a huge mess. This may be a little bit intimidating for those who are new to makeup, because there's a lot of frickin' options here, and so it might be intimidating, but I'm going to go in with a thinner brush and go into the matte of Pisces and see what this does. It's really interesting that they went with such a dark color for Pisces. Pisces is a little bit more docile than that. Pisces is the mystic. It has one foot on Earth, one foot in heaven, people. So it's, you know, it's the end of the zodiac. It's the complete opposite of Aries. Where Aries is the newborn ready to rage and get out there, and Pisces is like, nope, we're coming to the end of this. Have more wisdom, girl, you know, so yeah. But, so I'm kind of surprised by this. It's actually going in quite well. I think I'm choosing the wrong brush, so I'm going to switch brushes because this just, no. Okay, so this is kind of fun just because I have so many new brushes that I'm trying out because it was, you know, Black Friday. So this is really nice, actually. I really like Pisces. I feel like Pisces is doing a great service to Aries. Aries and Pisces can get along, though Pisces can be worn out by Aries craziness. And I mean that in a good way. Okay, holy pigment. These really are. So I'm going to go back into Leo and just kind of even this out a little here. I am finding they blend pretty well. But part of it is that when you go into bold colors like this, yikes, you know, I mean, you're not really coming back from it if you make mistakes. So I'm going to have to do some cleanup because these are really just pretty impressive pigment-wise. So you just want to blend this out just a little bit. Okay, so what I'm finding is this is a lot more purple than I wanted. I definitely wanted more of like a red color, and it doesn't really have it. It's more of these purpley colors, which is not exactly what I was going for with Aries. I really wanted a red color, but it didn't happen. It's working really well. Adding a little white back up here, just kind of even it out, but it's more purple than I wanted, which really does not represent Aries the way that I would like. So that's a little disappointing. But we're gonna forge on, and then it's gonna come together. It just needs to be smoothed out a little bit. But the next color that I am going to use, I think, is Aquarius, because this is the closest thing to like a gold that's in this palette. I would usually put this with Leo more, but you know, whatever. It's their world. So I'm just going to put this here. And it really doesn't go with the look that I was going for. Originally, Aries was going to be this beautiful, like, red look with this palette. And unfortunately, it's gone towards purple, which was never my intention, because Aries is about red and gold. You know, it's the first fire sign, which means it's wild. But the shimmer's going really well, actually. I really like this color. I would have liked it better if it was red. So what I'm going to try to do is salvage it a little bit. I'm going to try Libra here, which is a red, but I have a feeling that it may come up more purpley. And in fact, it does. It has nothing to do with the palette. It has to do more with just what I was looking for. And, you know, it's just a little frustrating because I wanted it to be red. But it goes on quite nicely, actually. You have to work it in just a little bit more when you put the shimmer on shimmer there, is what I'm finding. So, you know, have a little bit of patience. I didn't want it to be so, like, I want it to mix into each other. But I'm gonna go underneath again with Libra, because this is like the reddest color I can find that is matching what I'm going for. There we go. And it's okay to really go underneath the eye line, because this is not a subtle look. You know, this is Aries. I'm gonna even add more to it, which may help it, is I'm gonna use this black, which is for Aries as well. That'd be more Scorpio, but whatever. And I'm going to put this in the crease here and see how that works, because I'm hoping that it will tie it in just a little bit better to break up this purple. And I actually don't use black that often, so this is kind of fun. It's a whole experiment for me. This goes totally out of my comfort zone because I'm not one of these people that goes with bold looks too often, but it's Aries, so go big or go home. Okay, so this is the final look. Yes, and this is the Aries inspired look from the Zodiac Palette from BH Cosmetics. Yes. So, you know, it's a demure look, you know, ready to go meet the in-laws. Okay, maybe not. Go to church. Go for a stroll in Central Park. Yeah, no. So this is a more bold look, but it is inspired by Aries, and Aries is extremely bold. It's the first fire sign. It is energetic. It is bold. It takes risks. It doesn't care what you think, and but very generous, very fun sign, very energetic, and extremely loyal, just to name a few things. And this is Aries. The rest of the look was created with other products outside of BH Cosmetics, and I just wanted to show those in case you were curious. This is Ofra, and I think this is Rodeo Drive, to give kind of the gold, because I want to stick with a little bit of the gold theme. And then they no longer make this, but this is ColourPop, and it's Bijou, and it's this berry kind of purple color, so it matches the crease color really well. It's gone. It's discontinued, but I know that there are similar colors like this on the ColourPop line and other lines, so just go pick yourself up kind of a purpley color with a little bit of berry. You're good to go. And then on top of it, I took the ColourPop Prismatic Gloss, and I put a little bit there on the inside of the lip just to give it a little pop of gold to match Aquarius, which is on the lid, just to kind of pull the whole thing together. And that's how I created this look. So yes, Aries, for all you Aries folks out there, I'm sorry I couldn't create your red, black, and gold wonderland. That's okay. It's in here. So yeah, so this is the best that I could do. Now, as far as the performance, this is a first impressions. The more I use it, the more I will review this palette. But what I will say is that the matte shades are, they do have a little bit of fallout. And the thing is, these are really pigmented shadows. So you're going to want to go in with a light hand, especially with the mattes, because I do find they're a little bit powdery. So when you put your brush in there, make sure to tap the excess off. I did not in the beginning, and you will see that, where it just made kind of a mess. The nice thing about these is that they do blend really well. So I just took in one of these lighter colors here, and I also had like just a white shadow that I use, or a cream shadow that I use matte, and then I just diffused it, and it diffused really nicely. That's something with this palette though that's missing, is that there are no white or light cream shades to really help you blend things out, so you're gonna have to bring in your own. So I think that's something that's really missing here. You know, I don't mind. Everybody has tons of those colors, but I kind of like a palette that has it all, and unfortunately it didn't have that. So that was a little bit disappointing, but no big deal. Like I said, we have hundreds of them, so bring it out. So I did have to bring in another palette just to kind of blend things out with a lighter color. But these things are these shadows are extremely pigmented. And so go in with a light hand, because it's all you need. There is some fallout. There's fallout with a lot of palettes. You know, I am going to give it an excuse on that, because, you know, this is a discounted brand, and look how many shadows you get. Look at this. I think it's probably 24, because there's 12 signs. So 24 shadows for $19.99. I think it went back up, but even still, these are really high performing. Aquarius that I just used my fingers. I always use my fingers, and look at that. It just went on really well. You're not missing that. I mean, these just go on fantastically. So here it is, just so you see what it looks like, because I don't think I swatched that. Look at that. That's just one swipe. That's just one swipe, and there you go. I mean, these are just so pigmented. It's just crazy. It may be a little bit intimidating for a beginner, to be honest with you, because again, it is missing kind of transition shades. I mean, any color could be used as, I'm sorry, I have powder all over my face. Any color could be used as a transition shade, but if you are new, you probably want something a little bit more docile when you're going into your crease. And there's not a lot of these except for these two colors here, but they are a little bit more warm tones. So for you cool tone girls, it's like, but you're really going to need to bring in another palette. So that might be intimidating a little bit for a beginner. But if you are a beginner and you want to experiment with color, I think this is a really great palette for that. The only thing is it's not laid out in a user-friendly way where you can see how to match things together. So you're going to have to use your creativity. This is really great if you want to experiment with color and you're new at it. This is a really nicely priced palette to do that. There's always sales on BH Cosmetics, so you can pick this up at even less than $24. So it's kind of a no-brainer. So you can experiment with color, and I think this is a really great palette to do that with. You know, it obviously is for bold looks. This isn't something you're gonna go, hey, going to work today. Yeah. You know, Zodiac palette. It's not one of those palettes. You're not going to pull it out for that. It's for like the weekend. If you want to have a dramatic look, it'd be really great for like dramatic theatrical things or costuming, or even just, you know, any kind of like dramatic look that you want to go for, especially on the weekend. So don't count it out. But, you know, some of these you could definitely use, like the lighter colors like Leo and Virgo and Pisces here, and even Gemini and Taurus. You can use these on the lid and then use you know, a more neutral palette and, you know, make it more wearable for day-to-day wear. So you definitely are going to get some miles out of this. You're just going to have to bring in another palette. Also, there are so many choices and the combinations don't really line up together. Like, I wouldn't put some of these colors together that they're matching. So it's kind of interesting because I wouldn't put this like blue color with Cancer with this purple. So they don't really go together, and I just think part of it was the planning of the palette. Certain colors go well together, like Aquarius, even though the colors don't really match the sign, whatever. But like black and blue with Aries, I mean, the colors are completely just, they don't really go together. You could use a little bit in the V, but it's just, it's a little bit much. So don't focus on this layout to put combinations together because it's not going to happen. So this may be a little bit intimidating for those who like it laid out a little bit better for them. You know, so yeah, but go ahead and bring in another palette. Experiment. I mean, you can always wash makeup off. That's what I love. Experiment, have fun. This didn't go the way that I wanted. Whoo doggies. Yeah, I'm going to give this a big thumbs up. Again, I want to experiment with it more. I'm wondering if, and I don't know if this is like a good idea, maybe doing different looks. I was thinking of starting in January and creating a look starting with Capricorn and moving forward, but maybe I'll just go through the Zodiac and next do Taurus or Gemini. Let me know if you're interested in that, and then maybe do some inspired work from this palette for the different signs. Kind of fun. Let me know. So yes, I think it's a solid palette. Yes, there are issues with it. You know, with somebody who knows astrology, it's a little bit disappointing because the colors don't really match the signs, but I mean, you can get past that and get past it. It's a little bit hard because it is the zodiac signs and they don't match their colors for the most part, but move past it. You know, it's really pigmented. Yes, there is some fallout, but you know that now, so tap it out and go on there lightly. It's a fun palette to experiment with, and it is a very great price point to do that with. There's a lot of product in here. It's going to last you a long time. I mean, look at that. That's just really generous. BH Cosmetics really, it's a fantastic product for the price that you pay. It really is quite amazing, and I'm going to stick with that. And I really do think it's a beautiful, well-rounded palette, even though it doesn't really match the theme correctly. Get over it, I guess, though it hurts me a little bit. But I think it's a great palette, so I'm going to continue to use it. I don't know what the wear time is, so I can't really speak about that, but look for a future video about my rating on this in the end. But I think it's going to get a very definite high rating, and again, if you're interested in seeing other signs, let me know. So that is my first impression of the Zodiac palette from BH Cosmetics, and until next time, have a fabulous day. Bye.